What's going on, everybody? December 13th, run streak day 71, and it is gnarly out this morning. It's 36 degrees. With the wind, it feels like it's 24, and it's pouring down rain. It's one of those days where you know the run is not going to be super fun, but you get out the door anyway and do it. So the run footage today is going to be pretty minimal. I caught a little break in the wind here, but it's just been way too windy to try to film, try to talk to the camera. I mean, it's already starting to pick back up again now. So I'll have to fill in the video with some other content later back at home. Maybe do some cooking or something like that. But I'll do a little bit more filming while I'm out. It's also a bit of a chore, of course, to keep the lens clean. So keeping today's run short. Probably won't even try to stretch it out to 4 miles. Literally probably just gonna do 5K and call it for today. It's too nasty out to be out running for too long. Also, my legs are not necessarily sore, but they're a little bit fatigued. Not because I ran a whole lot yesterday. It was only 5 miles, it wasn't that much. But I didn't sleep that well last night. I got to bed late and then just didn't sleep well throughout the night. And sleep has been one of the things that I've really done well over the course of the run streak, and it's one of the reasons why I've been so successful, is I've made sure to get at least 8 hours of sleep a night. But last night that didn't happen, so running a little bit slow today, just kind of like preventative maintenance. That way I'm not going to be sore tomorrow. Rain's kind of let up a little bit right now, which is nice. It's not quite so bad. So the movie we watched last night, Love Actually, it was pretty good. It's my first time seeing it. Had Andrew Lincoln in it from The Walking Dead, which is a good show, and so I enjoyed seeing him. He was super young in that movie. I think that was probably pre-Walking Dead, if I had to guess. And it also had Liam Neeson in it. Hans Gruber was in there from Die Hard. I think his actual name is Alan Rickman, but maybe that's a sign. Maybe that means that tonight we're going to be drawing Die Hard as our movie. Hans Gruber, it's a sign. And he was actually kind of the bad guy in the movie, come to think of it, because he was about to cheat on his wife. So he was like the only one in the movie that was like the bad guy. Of course it had to be Hans Gruber. All right, anyway, I'm going to finish off my run. We'll talk more when I get back to the apartment. Well, it looks like our path is blocked by a small pond which is formed here on the riverfront. So, guess I'm going back that way. Almost done with the run here though. I got like, I don't know, less than a quarter of a mile to go. All right, let's finish it off. 4.4 miles today. I'll put the Strava information up. Kept the pace pretty low, which was good. It was 8 minutes and 51 seconds, I think, so not super fast. Easy on the legs today. Pretty good run considering the weather conditions out there. I'm not going to complain too much. I was thinking it was going to be worse, to be honest. My ears are freezing cold. I wanted to wear the beanie, but I really needed the hat to keep the rain out of my face and stuff like that. I don't know why I even bothered bringing the sunglasses. That was wishful thinking right there, thinking that I was going to be able to wear those the whole run. They lasted probably about a mile. The GoPro's trying to shut itself off for some reason. I don't really know why. I mean, we're in the house where it's not cold, but I guess it must have gotten pretty cold while we were out there. Battery's at 50% and it's shutting itself off saying low battery. Gotta love the GoPro. Anyway, I'm gonna take a warm shower, get something to eat, hydrate up, and get started on the rest of my day. All right, we're in the kitchen. We're making up some lunch and we're gonna be making some soup. So we got some vegetables here and then some lentils. So I'll go over the ingredients real quick. Pretty simple stuff. We got 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Then over here we got 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and 2 teaspoons of curry powder. For the vegetables, we just have a couple of carrots,
We got a couple little things of celery there. My stalks of celery are pretty small, so I have 4 of them on there, I believe. But you could probably get away with just 2 large stalks of celery if that's what you have. I got 1 small onion and 3 potatoes. Then over here I got 1 cup of lentils, 1 large can of crushed tomatoes, and then this guy here is actually just some extra tomato sauce that I had in the fridge that I just want to get rid of, so I'm gonna go ahead and just throw it in the soup anyway. And then we're also gonna put some vegetable broth in there as well, and we're doing this in the Instant Pot. Alright, so in goes our vegetables there, and our lentils. So our salt and pepper, curry powder, garlic powder, Italian seasoning. Now I'm actually throwing in some stuff out of the herb garden here. This is some chopped up parsley and also some chopped up Thai basil, just a few leaves of each. Give it a little extra flavor. And here's that tomato sauce. Our can of crushed tomatoes here. Putting in a little bit of water in the can of crushed tomatoes just to get all the tomato that was stuck to the sides off of there. So there's probably like half a cup of water there, if I had to guess. And then we're gonna throw in our vegetable broth here. I'm gonna stir it up. That way I know how much broth I need to put in there. Not really gonna measure this. So between the broth and the water, that's probably like 2 cups of liquid there, if I had to guess. Now we're gonna cook this for 22 minutes on high and let it naturally release. All right, soup's all done. Let's stir this up. All right, here's how the soup came out. It's nice and thick, hearty. It's gonna be a nice filling lunch here to hold us over for dinner. Most of it's going in the fridge because it's gonna be better coming out of the fridge tomorrow, the day after. So for dinner tonight, we're gonna pick a recipe out of this cookbook. I've had this cookbook for quite a while here. It's called Tofu Cookery by Louise Hagler. I don't think I've ever actually used this cookbook. I've had it for like 4 years. So it's time to stop neglecting it. I looked through it. There's actually some pretty awesome looking stuff in here. So I haven't picked a recipe yet, but I will be soon, and I'll show you what we make. So this is the recipe that we ended up picking for tonight, mostly because it's a nice, easy recipe. It does take an hour to bake, however, so I gotta get it going. But we're hoping that the finished product looks somewhat like that. We'll find out, I guess. Now again, I just want to reiterate, this is not my recipe. This is coming from this cookbook, the Tofu Cookery cookbook. I'm not trying to steal anybody's credit here, but here's our ingredients. We got our Dijon mustard, our onion, we got nutritional yeast, garlic powder, and some black pepper there. And then we got a little bit of oil there. I'm using less than what they called for in the recipe just because I'm using a small pan, so I don't really need 2 tablespoons of oil to grease it up. Then we got some parsley, soy sauce, and the recipe called for wheat germ, but I do not have wheat germ, so I'm using breadcrumbs because I read that they are an acceptable substitution. And then we have our 1 pound block of tofu that I've ground up into small pieces in the food processor. So basically all we got to do is mix all this stuff together in a big bowl, put it in the pan, and bake it in the oven. Let's see how it goes. Okay, there we go. We're about to put it in the oven. It calls for baking it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 hour. All right, so our tofu loaf is all done. Also whipped up some mashed potatoes with some yellow potatoes and some gravy as well to go with this. So we're gonna get it plated up, see how it tastes. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna give this a shot. We got a little bit of, I'm not really a ketchup on a meatloaf type of thing. I guess this is meatless loaf or tofu loaf. I'm not really a ketchup person, so I put some gravy on there. Sounded better to me. Let's give this a shot. It's pretty good. It's interesting. It doesn't really taste a lot like meatloaf, but it has, you know, enough of those flavors in there that can kind of pass for it. I mean, it's really good overall. I'm definitely gonna eat it, but it doesn't necessarily remind me of a full-on meatloaf. That being said, it's still really, really tasty and not that hard to make. I'd probably make that again, to be honest. Maybe do it a little bit differently, I'm not sure. Now, before I end the video, we gotta find out what movie we're watching tonight. So here we go. Not looking. Not looking. I'm gonna let you guys see the movie first here. I don't know if this is upside down or not. Hopefully not. What do we got? Miracle on 34th Street. I think that was upside down. Miracle on 34th Street. Okay, should be an interesting night. Classic movie. We're gonna eat our dinner, watch our movie. We'll catch you guys later. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified whenever I drop a new video. Till tomorrow, everybody. Take care.